So as we look at this report, we can see math is on top, and we have some bar graphs. The first bar graph is the student RIT, the district level mean RIT, and then normative RIT. So the normative is every student in this grade taking the same test at the same time across the world. And the district is just the ISE district. And of course the student is this individual student. And as we see, the student has scored usually a little below district or above the norm in each testing. There was one year last winter where he was above district and normative. And then over to the right, we have it broken down. Now, I usually stay away from the RIT when I talk to parents because it's a complicated idea, and most people, they want to know what RIT is, but once you start explaining how it's calculated, it's okay. Yeah. But what I usually focus on is the percentile range, and this shows me where the student has been in relationship to his peers. And so if you think of it like this, if you lined up students from 0 to 100, and we had 100 would be the highest, 0 would be the lowest, this student would be in the 62nd percentile. So he's above average compared to what the average is of 50%. But if we look in the past, we see that he's been 81%, 78, 76. So there was some growth that we saw starting in winter 2019 until winter 2020. And then this year, he dropped off 19 points, or 19 percentile points. And we can talk about why that is. We need to really see if this is common with all of our other students before we just make any declarations of this is what's going on. And so looking also at MAP, we see that there's different goals that we have, learning goals, that's one place calls them. We have the 4 in math, and we see that he has high average in this category and just average in the other 3. Going to reading, it's pretty much the same. We have the same bar graph. He is above the district and the norm in every year. We look at his percentile, and we see, okay, there was one dramatic drop-off from 89% to 23%, and then he was back up to 76%, so maybe that was just an outlier. And then he's been continuously 91 to the upper 80s, and then started dropping off and dropping off. And then with this, we can see, does this student need more of a challenge or what? Looking at the bottom of the reading goals performance, we see that he is high in vocabulary, high average in literature, and just average in informational text. And so what this tells me is if I'm doing a small group, I really want to focus on informational text. Also in reading, we get the Lexile range. WIS does not use a Lexile range, but you can use this to find a chart online that correlates it to AR. Then we have the language usage, and again we see has been high and above average for compared to the district and the norm. And we see steadily in the 80s or the upper 70s in the percentile. And so this is how you can talk to your parents and your students about how to use this report that will be sent to them through PowerSchool. I would also recommend you printing this off online and just having it ready to pass out for your PTC.